Okay, solved. You may or may not be able to see what the difference is, but what I did is I removed the middle tie from here and I pushed these guys closer together so that they're kind of at an angle this way and an angle this way. And as soon as I do that, okay, lights on solid till it exits. And we get into the next section, lights on, once I get over both of them, lights on pretty much solid till I exit, going backwards, lights on, come all the way back here, okay, in between no light, there, lights on, there. So now I've got these guys working the way I need them to. The next thing really is to figure out... Alright, look what finally came. Here is the displays that I want to test out for my speedometer. First off, we have an LED. This one happens to be a red one, and if you look, I've got somewhere it says there's a green one here as well, but it's 4 digits, 7 segments, so it's kind of basic stuff, but I got it with the add-on backpack so I can use I2C in order to control it. So that's going to be one of the options. The next option up is this guy, and this guy is a 16 by 2 LCD, and then I also have a 20 by 4 LCD, which looks a little bit large for the layout, but now that I have these in, I can start testing through the Uno and see which one I like for my speedometer display. That's what I'm up to today. So the Adafruit 7-segment display I bought comes with a backpack here so I can do I2C on it, but as you can see, the backpack just comes off, which means we have to do a little bit of soldering. And I haven't tried that yet on boards like this, so that's what we're going to try here next. We'll get these guys on. First up, I need to put these pins in, and they go in this way, except we only need 4. So we'll snip off 2 of them here. Done. And the 4 pins, I guess, fit in like that. Because this is going to fit on there. Yeah, okay, so that all works. A little more light. There's a little more light. And let's see if what I watched is going to work on here. It says to heat up where they join. Touch with a bit of solder. Watch it wick in. Seems to be doing that. Okay, now I guess we just do this. We're going to do the easy side first. We'll start from here. Okay, so everything's now soldered on. I'm going to do what I normally do after solder, and that is I grab my toothbrush and a little bit of 99% alcohol and go in to make sure that if there's any flux that came out, that I've cleaned that up. So we grab this and we go snip. Does that look good? Yep. There. That doesn't look too bad. So there's the final product. Soldered all those pins in, and on this side soldered those in, and yeah, they don't stick up enough to do anything. Now back upstairs to check out I2C and how that works. Alright, I went to the Adafruit site and they indicated there's a library to download. So here it is in GitHub, and it says whatever it says. Let's see, the README says compatibility, yada yada yada. Oh, okay. So all we have to do is figure out how do we download everything. We go to clone or download. Sure, download the zip. There we can see it's downloading. And if we go to show in folder and we go in here, we see right there that it's there. And then I believe what I have to do is go through and open up Arduino over here. I'm going to go here and we're going to go Sketch, Include Library, Add Zip Library, and this comes from this PC downloads, and what was it called again? That's over on my other one here. Excuse me while I go find it. Adafruit LED Backpack Master. Adafruit LED Backpack Master. Open. And if we go back to here, it says do that. Return to the Sketch, Include Library menu. You should see the library at the bottom of your drop down. Sketch. Include Library. Include Library. You get all the way down. Adafruit LED whatever. Zip file will have it. So I also had to include the Adafruit GFX library, because when you look at here, there's wire, that's normal, but there's Adafruit GFX and then Adafruit LED Backpack. So I need to have both of those libraries included. And then I found this 7-seg, which is a sample. Now we'll wire it all up and see. Okay, so data, SDA to I2C data on the Uno, this is A4. clock to I2C clock on the Uno. This is a 5. Okay, so here's what I have set up. After my soldering job, I plugged this guy in. I have 5 volts and ground going there, 5 volts and ground to here, and then the data and the clock line. Data goes to A4, and clock, which is the black one, goes to A5. And if we look at that, data to A4 and clock to A5, I now have this. Now all I need to do is hook up my Uno here, and well, need a better way of supporting stuff. So you go in there like that, and now I go over here and under Tools, make a sketch, edit. Okay, so where are we? Tools, we have a genuine Uno, and column 3 looks good, so let's let it run. Oh, one more click, compiling sketch. And over here, oh, we got stuff happening. It's counting. Gets to 1,000 and keeps counting. That's boring. Let's do a reset on it. Okay. Just seems to be a counter in the sample code, but that shows that it works, so I'll go back to the sample code and do some playing. Alright, here's what I've figured out so far. I've figured out how to turn on the dots under, there's a dot there. Now you can see both the dots were on, you can see it flashes, you can see the whole thing clears. The right hand digit has got something in it, now it has nothing in it. And the brightness is slowly increasing. So that's at a brightness level 5. Now it goes to a brightness level 6, and it'll go up to a brightness level of F. And then it will just revert back again. In order to get this going, it took a while. I had to go on to the Adafruit site, try and find out what was in the library. It wasn't 100% correct, and as usual, it's all the searching around you have to do. But in order to create, as it shows when it flashes here, a speed with one digit off of it, this is going to work just fine. And then brightness, later on, if I decide I want to change that to have a sensor in the room determining how bright it is or whatever, I can do that. Otherwise, I'll just leave it to its default, which is, yeah, whatever its default. And then if anybody cares, this is the code that I used. This is the comments I added. This was the original comments. These are the 3 headers that need to be included. Here's some variables I set up. This is the how to create the I2C link. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it does. And then the loop where I go through and set the brightness. Here well, first of all, I clear it, set the brightness, right digit 0, 1. I'm going to draw the colon, and because draw dots is true, it does that. And then 3 and 4. And I skipped this here because I didn't want to write anything. Every time you do the setting, you have to do a write, delay half a second. I skip this print hex number, blank the screen, half a second, do the print here of 123.4 leave it for half a second and clear it. And then here's how I made it flash. I created blink time at 100 and blink loop at 0 and said, well, it's less than 10. This should really be less than blink time, but anyway, sorry, shouldn't be. Blink time is the 100 milliseconds, which creates the flash. and this just increases the brightness and then repeats. Down at the bottom here, this is all the code that I commented out that was the original code that was in here that had the testing for the LED. So that's basically just set up for testing. That's all it's set up for. The code that I'll end up using for the speedometer, of course, is going to be different than that.